When you're handling food, safe food prep is very important. Unsanitary conditions can get people sick and can even shut down a restaurant. Internet customer reviews could have a greater impact on customer satisfaction than even the quality of food in some cases. After the quality of food, sanitation is the #2 factor for people when choosing a restaurant. You wouldn't go to eat in a place with dirty tables or bits of food on the floor everywhere, so why should the back of the house be any different? Now, before you even step foot into the restaurant, you're going to want to practice some good personal hygiene. Nobody wants food from somebody coming in looking greasy or dirty. It's about perception. Good hygiene is about showing respect for yourself, for your coworkers, and most importantly, the restaurant. It might sound silly or obvious, but the customer is going to take one look at the staff and make a judgment on the sanitary conditions of that restaurant. How a dish looks is just as important as how it tastes. Same thing here. A staff with good hygiene says to the customer, "Wow, this restaurant is clean," and by extension, the food must be clean.
We're going to think about sanitation from start to finish. This means when you start your shift, make sure that your tool and work area are properly cleaned. Always be sure to wash your hands before you begin. Ensure dishes are clean and the food is properly washed and stored. Having and utilizing proper closing procedures will create a routine where your work area and equipment are properly sanitized before the start of your next shift. Before you start and throughout your shift, you're going to want to continually wash your hands. I can't stress this enough, especially when you're handling raw meat. But it's important no matter what kind of food you're handling, this is going to limit the spread of harmful bacteria and keep your customers safe.
It is important to practice good hygiene when working with disposable gloves. That means anytime that you're switching tasks, you're going to want to change out your gloves. For example, you don't want to be cutting raw meat and then move over to the preparation of a salad. This is known as cross-contamination. Raw meat can have harmful bacteria on it, and if you don't change your gloves, you run the risk of getting people sick. It is important to work smart and always be aware of what you're doing at all times. When nature calls during your shift, you're going to want to remove your apron and your gloves. Wearing your apron into the bathroom can expose it to outside germs. So remove your apron, wash your hands, and then when you're done, remember to put on new gloves when you return to the kitchen. Never use your phone on the line. Phones are often covered in bacteria. Not only is it dirty, it's distracting. Distracting for you and distracting for your coworkers. Once again, this is about respect for your position, respect for your employer, and for the customer. Working in a kitchen is a team effort, and creating distractions can be a recipe for mistakes in a food service setting. And again, it's just not sanitary. When a phone call is necessary, be sure to wash your hands before returning to your station. Bacteria can grow rapidly on food that's left out at room temperature. Make sure that you know which food needs refrigeration, freezing, and so on. This is going to prevent unwanted bacterial growth and keep your food safe. Check for any labels to ensure that food is stored properly. Bacteria also grows on food in what's known as the temperature danger zone. This means cold food needs to be refrigerated below 40 degrees and hot food needs to be held above 140 degrees. When cooling a hot prepped item, it is vital to get the internal temperature below 70 degrees within the first 2 hours.
Safe food handling and sanitation is just as important at the end of the night as it is during your shift. This means sanitizing all surfaces in the kitchen, as well as making sure the front of the house is properly clean and ready for the next day. Again, remember, sanitation is the #2 reason a customer returns to your establishment. The customer often judges cleanliness of an establishment by the cleanliness of the bathroom. You're going to want to do your part to make sure the bathrooms are clean and stocked throughout the shift and at the end of your shift. And finally, make sure your waste and trash are properly disposed of prior to your departure.
Following these simple guidelines are the first steps to ensure that a restaurant's food is safe for the consumer and that the work environment is safe for the staff. Remember, food prep is a team sport, so it's important that you do your part to keep Virginia Beach a great place to work and an awesome place to dine. And a big thank you to the Virginia Beach Restaurant Association for keeping our kitchen safe.